And I'm actually going to start a new presentation from scratch. So now sometimes during the presentation, I'll make my mouse do that so you can find out where my mouse is. And sometimes if I have to, I'll also zoom in. So let's make a new PowerPoint presentation. I'll pick on File, and I'll pick on New. And then here I will use a blank presentation. As you notice, there's some templates that are built right in. And even if you just start with a blank presentation, you can always add one of those templates later on, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's go into a blank presentation. Now, so let's go over the tour of the screen here. I am using PowerPoint 2016, which at the time of this recording, it is the most recent version of PowerPoint. If you have Office 365, that's the version of PowerPoint that you would have. If you have PowerPoint 2013 or a PowerPoint 2010, the screen should look pretty similar to there as well. Now, here we have the menus. So if I pick on Insert, notice how the whole toolbar changes with different icons. Or if I pick on Design, the whole toolbar changes. So that structure started in PowerPoint 2007. So you should have similar menus. Now these days, the menus are called tabs. So if you're reading documentation somewhere and it says pick on the Insert tab, it's really right there. And notice when I pick on the different tabs, the whole toolbar changes. Now the new word for the toolbar is called the ribbon. If you see the word ribbon, it's just where all the icons are. We used to call that the toolbar, now it's called the ribbon. Now look at the very top of the screen. This is called the Quick Access Toolbar. You have a couple icons up there. We have Save and Undo and Redo. Now the Quick Access Toolbar stays up there all the time, and this way you can make sure that your favorite icons are always available. Let me show you a couple quick ways to add things to your Quick Access Toolbar. Now in this case, I'm going to zoom in for a second. And we'll do a quick zoom in. Good. Now here's the magnifier. And I can minimize that window. So notice my mouse. I'm going to go to the arrow to the right of the Quick Access Toolbar and click there. And now I can just click on any one of those. So, for example, I'll pick on the word Open. And now the Open icon is now on the Quick Access Toolbar. So that's quick and easy. If I just click on the arrow to the right of the Quick Access Toolbar, then I could just pick any one of those. So this time we'll do Print Preview. And notice how the print icon is now on the Quick Access Toolbar. Now, if you want to remove something from the Quick Access Toolbar, I can just right-click on that and then say Remove from the Quick Access Toolbar. Now here's another quick way to add things onto that. In this case, I want to pick on the Home menu. Now the Home menu has a lot of your popular commands like cut and paste and copy and paste and so on. So all you have to do here is right-click on one of your favorite icons. I'm going to right-click on Copy, and I'll say Add to Quick Access Toolbar, and now that one is up there as well. So all you have to do is right-click on your favorite icons. I'm going to right-click on Cut. I'll say Add to Quick Access Toolbar, and now that one is up there. So I just showed you two quick ways to add things to the Quick Access Toolbar. I'm going to zoom back out again. Good. All right, so looking good. Now, in this case, here we are on the first slide. Now, the presentation is made up of one slide, or it could be as many as you wanted to. Now, when you first start a presentation, you can see how we're on the first slide. Now, you're going to find that PowerPoint is fairly intuitive. So here it says, click to add title. So I'm going to click there, and I'll type in PowerPoint presentation. By the way, the spell checker is built in as well. So just like it would be in Word or Excel. Now I'll click here to say click to add subtitle, and I'll say basics. And now we have our first slide. Now I'm going to show you, of course, how to enhance that slide and add some different things onto there. Now your presentation, of course, will have more than one slide. So let's add some more slides. I'll pick on the Home menu up top, and then I'll come over here and I'll pick on the word New Slide, or you pick on that little asterisk. And now we are on a new slide. So adding new slides is not going to be difficult. Now I can see where adding a new slide would be something that I'll do all the time. So that might be something I would add to my quick access toolbar, for example. So I'll right click on that icon, right click, and I'll say add to quick access toolbar. And now the new slide icon is right up there. Now I want to show you something. Right next to where it says new slide, I can change the layout of the slide. And there's different layouts. Now this layout is called title and content, which means it'll have a title and then it'll have a content here in the middle. Now, just because you pick one of those layouts, you're not stuck with that format. It just gives you an idea of what the slide format should look like. But you can always add things to that slide. But the layouts just kind of give you an idea for that slide. Now, let me show you a trick here. If I click on the pull down where it says new slide, I can add a new slide and change the layout for that new slide at the same time. So that'll save you a step. Instead of adding a new slide and then changing the layout, I can pick on the pull down where it says new slide and then pick one of the layouts, and then it'll add a new slide with that layout at the same time. So that'll save you a step. Now, I like the layout of this slide. So we'll say basics. And then in this presentation, we're going to talk about those things. We'll talk about the tour. Now you see how this slide will already have the bullet list built right in. And then I'll show you how to add bullet lists to your own slides as well. Talk about adding slides. We'll talk about managing text. I'm just typing these in just to show you how relatively easy it is to build your slides. And then we'll talk about bullet list, which we're in right now, but I'll show you how to enhance that. Each time that I hit the enter key, it'll go to the next line on the bullet, as you can see. I will talk about number list. And we'll talk about the slide design and the background. So you can see I'm starting to build this slide without a problem. Now I see that I have an extra line here. So I'll click on that line and then I could just hit my delete key. No problem with that. So now we have a nice slide. So next, let's talk about, well, we're going to add a new slide. So I'll pick on the home menu and I'll pick on new slide, or I could have picked on my icon that I added to the quick access toolbar as well. By the way, notice how when I move my mouse there, it has a keyboard shortcut. So another way to add a new slide is Control M. If you move your mouse around some of the icons, if it does have a keyboard shortcut, it'll tell you what that is. So for example, cut is Control X, copy is Control C, and so on. We probably know save is Control S. All right, so when it has a keyboard shortcut, it'll show you that when you move your mouse across these icons. Bold is Control B, and so on. All right, so let's add another new slide. I'll pick on new slide again. Now this time, I'm going to go for a blank layout. I'm going to pick on the pull down where it says layout, and I'm going to just make it a blank slide. And now there's nothing on there, as you can see. Now I'm going to try to type onto this slide. I'm going to click right in the middle, and I'll try to type, and it actually is not letting me do that. If you want to add text to your slide, you have to add a text box. Let's do that. So I'm going to come up here and I'll pick on the insert menu, insert, and then we come over here and we pick on the word text box. And then in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click onto that slide. Let's add another text box. I'll pick on insert and I'll pick on text box. In this case, I'll type in PowerPoint basics. Good. Now let's add another text box. I'll pick on insert and then text box again. And then I'll type in my name. And my name is Tom Fragale. All right. So we have a couple different text boxes. Now in this case, let me show you a couple tricks with these. I'm going to go ahead and click on that text box, and you can see the actual box when we click on it. Now watch how I'm going to resize that. I'm going to go to the sizing handle. I'm going to go to the sizing handle on the right. I'm going to hold down my left mouse button and drag it over to the left and watch what happens. Now you can see how that text is vertical, right? So that was an interesting choice. Let's try that again. If I get the sizing handle on the right and drag it to the right, now it'll become horizontal again. So you get the sizing handle on the left of the on the right side of the text box. You hold down your left mouse button and drag it to the left, and it becomes horizontal. And then if I drag it out, see how that's working for you. Now, another thing you can do is you can rotate your text this way. You move your mouse to that little circle right there. Your mouse will become a circle. You hold down your left mouse button, and then you can rotate the text that way as well. See what's happening? So you can do that with any of your text boxes. Now I can move these text boxes around. You click on the text box, you move your mouse to the edge of the text box like that, and you can just drag it from there. Now let's say I wanted to make sure that these text boxes would be lined up. What you'll do is you'll click on the first one. Now you're going to hold down your Shift key, and then I picked on the second one, and then I still have my Shift key held down, and I'll pick on the third one. So when you hold down your Shift key, then you can do what we call a multiple selection, just like in Word or in PowerPoint. Now, I'd like to line those three items so that they're lined up. Now, of course, we can move those manually, but here's maybe a quicker way. I'm going to come up here and pick on the Format menu. See it? I'll pick on Format. And then over on the Format menu, I'll pick on the word Align, and then I'll say Align Left. And now they're actually lined up with each other. So you certainly could try to move them manually, but that's a great little trick. You select your text boxes or your different objects in your slide, and then I picked on the word Format, and I picked on Align and Align Left. Now, if the items were next to each other, then I might align the top or the middle or the bottom. But when the items are on top of each other, I'd say align left, center, or right. And you can try those. Now, here's another one that you might want to know about. I want to make those equally spaced. Of course, I can try to move them, but here's how we can make sure they're going to be equally spaced. By the way, here's another way to select multiple objects. Right now, I don't have anything selected. I'm going to start my mouse up here, and then hold down my left mouse button, and just kind of draw a rectangle around those items. And now they'll be selected that way as well. Once they're selected, let's pick on the Format menu again. Then I'll come over here and I'll pick on the word Align. And now let's try this one. We're going to distribute vertically. Let's see what that does. Yeah, did you see how they moved? And now, now they're perfectly spaced. I'm going to undo that. Here's undo up there, of course. See how they're not really equally spaced right now. So I'm going to select all the items. Then I'll pick on the Align menu under the Format tab. Then I'll say Distribute Vertically. And watch closely the one that says PowerPoint Basics. Notice how it did move, and now they're perfectly equally spaced. So this is what I meant by managing your text on your slide. To add text to your slide, we have to add a text box. And you can have as many text boxes on your slide as you need.